Hey, welcome to your subconscious and welcome to Life Imagined. I am Brian Christian, another version of you, gazing at you through an imaginary laptop or phone, but is really coming from your own mind. Haha. It's good to see everybody here. Really excited to go public on YouTube and Facebook. For those of you that have been following the Life of Brian, the Monty Python version, don't forget to go over to our Patreon page. All the information, you can find it at lifeimagined.live or under the comments or the description of today's broadcast. And you can go over and you can subscribe. There is a free subscription on Patreon. This video will be posted later on there, as well as Facebook and YouTube. It's all for public. So the free subscription on Patreon, you get everything that, well, you get the basic videos everybody else gets. But the deep stuff, the good stuff, the out there stuff, you'll have to subscribe. It's $14.99 a month, which isn't that much. Nowadays, that's what a kid's meal deal at McDonald's. It used to be $5. Now it's about $14. So go on in there, and we got some great benefits for you if you do join and become a subscriber. We're going to give you 25% off all merchandise. Right now, it would be the shift training course, which that's a decent amount. But we're going to be doing some courses this year, which I'm very happy about. Courses that I believe are going to help you in your journey of deconstruction and reconstruction and finding your voice and finding your purpose and finding who you are. New language, especially if you've come out of religious, brainwashing, which I call it. I think all of us have to some degree or another, depending on your definition of religion. You also get, we have a Zoom call on our Patreon paid subscription group once a month, where we all just get together and hang out. And we will also give you one free training course a year, as well as a lot of videos that the public do not get. Okay, so go on over there to our Patreon page. It's Life Imagined, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Again, we just got started a few months ago. We've got quite a few subscribers already, and I've just been pumping out posts and videos, and so once or twice a month, I try to come on and give a public video to my YouTube subscribers and to Facebook, and just encourage you, come on over to Patreon. It's a better platform anyway. The great thing about that is only those that really want to be a part of what I'm bringing are going to subscribe. So we don't have any people trolling or sitting there trying to, badmouth you or slander you or threaten you with the fires of hell or any of that. So it's a Christian free zone. In other words, it's not free Christianity. It's the absence of the Christian religion. And so there's a lot of freedom on my Patreon page. Okay. I know that might sound funny to those that are just now tuning in and might be the first time you've met me. And you're like, who's this guy, Brian Christian, who doesn't even like his last name? Well, that very well might be true that I don't like my last name. There was a time I did, but I deconstructed religion. I've come out of the brainwashing, and I've entered into a whole new phase of my life and knowing myself and embracing myself and loving myself. And so I hope to bring messages like that. But anyway, today's message, which, now I don't even remember what I called it. So let me kind of go onto my Facebook here so I can see. Let me turn my volume down so I can see. Oh, masking freedom with a disassociated state of mind. Okay. So I'm just going to read you what I wrote, so I can't see it on the screen. What if your life was about never getting to decide what your life is about? I did a post on Facebook on this. Okay. To have a conclusion must be the ego deceiving you. To have an answer cannot be an answer, or you might get stuck in your head again. And you can read the rest of that as you will. But it's basically, I did 2 posts today, and this is what led me to do today's live video. Because here's the thing, I don't know what to bring to you guys until the voice of the people speaks. the voice of the collective. It's usually one or two that represents a collective group that'll speak out and say, yeah, but, or I don't know, I'm not sure, or there'll be this kind of apprehension. And I go, oh, okay, this is what I need to talk about. This is what I need to touch on to help shift the collective into alignment. And again, I'm not claiming I know anything. That's the great thing about this. Everything is hearsay. I like how Carrie Husband talked about that on our live we did on for our subscribers this last week. Amazing. And it's true. Everything is hearsay unless you experience it. It doesn't matter if it's written in blood. It doesn't matter if science has proved it. Only an ignorant fool is going to just absolutely believe what they're told to believe without actually bearing witness to it. You know, the by faith syndrome, I call it, which is no different than disassociation. But I did two posts today. And so I'm going to read you both of those because it goes along with what I'm going to talk about today. The first one I did 5 hours ago. I didn't have a title for it. And this is what it says. The spirit is not in a body. The body is a projection from within spirit. Source, God, whatever you want to call it, is dreaming of time, space, and matter. You are the character dreamed up by God. You are God pretending to be human. Now, basic stuff you've always heard from me. You know, out there stuff, feels like you're on magic mushrooms when I'm talking about it, that kind of thing, right? Hey, it's good to see you, Annabelle. And all those that are joining us, by the way, please say hi on there so I can see who's on. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. I like interaction. And you guys, please do interact. I love it when people ask questions, give answers, share where you're at so I can maybe put it up here for everybody to benefit from it. So I put this post and, you know, I get all kinds of cool answers. And again, this isn't pinpointing or responding to somebody's comment in a derogatory way or trying to, you know, shame you or make you feel like an idiot. It's nothing like that. I believe that we're all one and that everybody out there is another part of the one that is giving clues to the one of what needs to be adjusted with the many so that they can realize they're one. Okay. And so, but you know, one response was, are you certain? I usually find I'm back in my head when I make a solidity out of a thought with it is this and not that. So, and there's a truth there. We don't want to claim truths as the absolute truth, as it's only the way I see it, because that actually reveals that we're insecure. We've never actually encountered what we're talking about, and we're claiming it out of a place of feeling unsafe, insecure, and unstable in who we are and what we believe. So a lot of religions do that. They want to impose upon you their belief to convince themselves to believe what they've yet to witness. Okay. And so we don't want to go there. So yes, judging outwardly, it could look just like, man, Brian's just rattling off something he's trying to believe. He must be struggling and he's in the lie of separation. So he's claiming something. He's having a conclusion. And so, you know, so now we can see it that way. Okay. And that's fine. We can see it that way if we want to. Another way we can see it though, and this is what I want to get into. Before I get into that, let me read the other post that I shared. There's other comments too on here that kind of go along with that. But I want, because this is important. I truly believe that if we discern every voice that's going on out there, not the need to defend or protect what you're bringing to the table, but to be able to fine tune what you're bringing to the table and add to it for the variety of perspectives so that everybody can have a piece of the pie. Everybody can enjoy the communion of our togetherness and our interactions, right? That's what it's about. So this is what I did on the other post. It's called "What If?" ? What if your life was about never getting to decide what your life is about? Now, I think this is what's happening out there in some of the extremes. And I want to kind of bring a balance and I know that word balance just sounds terrible if you've ever been in religion. Let's balance this, because usually that means let's bridle you, let's quench you, let's prevent you. But let's balance this in the right way, without quenching truth or divine imagination. And that is to think about it. Think about this. With a lot of the new fresh revelation on ego, on needing answers, on seeking information, on living in memory loops, and these types of things, we want to go into another absolute that any memory you have is bad. It's a memory loop. It's 3D instead of 5D. Any question you have or any information you're seeking is automatically your ego, and you're a wounded person trying to get somewhere. And so we can become so suspicious, right? Good to see you, Kristen. And so what else did I say on this? I'm not going to read the whole post. All right. But I want to read you something here. Because this is the third paragraph on this post. It says, we can easily fall for religion by thinking every thought leads to religion. Here is how you know you're still manipulating yourself. I just put a couple reasons. It's probably 10,000 reasons. You're trying to watch your steps so you don't slip back into religion. Ooh, that's a big one. All right. You evaluate your thoughts to make sure they are from the spirit and not ego. You are concerned with being deceived. Now, anytime you're watching your back, trying to get here, trying to get there, or trying not to fall back here or there, you are still in the same religious belief system. You've just swapped words. I know when I was deconstructing, there were certain words I couldn't hear anymore. I couldn't hear hallelujah. I couldn't hear praise the Lord. I couldn't hear amen. I couldn't hear in the name of Jesus. And even spirit, Holy Spirit, that was another one, because it had been so religiousized and so used out of context and through the ego, that all of those were just like fingernails on a chalkboard. So I had to let go of it, and it's okay to let go of it. It's okay to say, I'm done with this for now. Just don't conclude you're done with everything forever, because many of those words are going to be used later. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But, imagine your life. Hey, thanks, guys. You like my hat? Yeah, I just didn't actually feel like fixing my hair. I've been outside, and it's I think 34 degrees today. So I'm also wearing my cool jacket. You like my jacket? I call it my AI jacket, my artificial intelligence jacket. Figure I might as well go with the trend of the times, right? But I want you to think about this. What is being spoken in the extreme today? And there's a truth there. We are living in a matrix. We're living in a simulation. So if you're living in a simulation, there can really be no facts, right? And so in that, what's happening is people are throwing any information to the wind, not seeking out anything, no longer having the inspiration to pursue, because they either know everything by knowing nothing, in the sense that we live in a simulation, so we shouldn't be seeking out information, or seeking out information is going to cause you to fall back into religiosity. And so everybody's still watching their back from a flight or fight mentality and claiming that is freedom. To do that. That means they're free from religion, because they don't use words like spirit. Instead, they use words like frequency. Okay. Well, I went through that. I used spirit, couldn't stand it, went to frequency. God is just a frequency. Now, what was I doing? I was disassociating. Okay. I want to read you a definition here of disassociation. Okay. Okay. What does it mean when someone is disassociating? All right. Disassociation is a mental process of disconnecting from one's thoughts, feelings, memories, or sense of identity. The dissociative disorders that need professional treatment include dissociative amnesia, depersonalization disorder, and dissociative identity disorder, DID, used to be called multiple personality disorder. Now, if you look at these, these go great. And I'm not I'm not trying to mess with any Christians here. I'm just messing with your religion. Okay. This sounds like what Christianity does, is it brings a disassociated amnesia. It tries to brainwash you into being something you're not, and to die to the person you were, or to let go of any true identity that was there before the church mugged you. Okay. Also, depersonalization disorder is a big part of the Christian religion, because it's all got to be about Jesus, you see. You can't be your own hero. Jesus has to be the hero. You're just the worm. You're just the wretched worm that's not good enough. See, Jesus has to be your hero. Now, I'm not against Jesus. I think Jesus is awesome. I think he's an awesome dude, and he thinks I'm an awesome dude. And you know what? We see each other the same way. I see him as a man. He sees me as a man. I see him as God. He sees me as God. It's kind of wonderful when you have what Jesus brought to the table, which was equality. And you start living your life based on what he taught, not idolizing his life because you missed the point of what he taught. All right. And so what I'm seeing here is people are still, they haven't healed from the religious trauma. And so they're just swapping doctrines, they're swapping words, and then they don't want to even get any information, because the information they had duped them, and they realized they were duped by religion. They realized, that they had been brainwashed. And so now any information is taboo now. Now it's like, no, it's ego driven. Only the ego looks for information. Now, that's true. The ego does look for information. And yes, it can go that way. But once you have come to the place of knowing you're in a simulation, and you're no longer resentful about being duped, and you've realized that you're the one that wrote the script about being duped, and that you're just walking out the divine imagination's purpose in experiencing all things, now a lot of these words you despised and experiences that you despise now comes back into alignment. And you can now utilize those, because everybody is you anyway, right? And if you've been freed from the entrapments of the matrix, and you've woken up within the dream, and you're like, hey, I've woken up within the dream. Now that I know I'm in a dream and I know I'm imagining my life, I think I'll decide how I'm going to live it now. And so now you can enjoy pursuing truths, having information, and doing all of these things, not from a place of seeking it to know yourself, but entertaining yourself because you know yourself. Okay? So information, all of these things, experiences, this is for, and I've taught this before, this is for entertainment purposes. And it's for you to simply enjoy the experience and the pursuit of it. So hold loosely what you know. I think I even said that in that post I did on what if. I said, let's see here. All of our safeguards are religion. All our concerns are flight or fight mode. Just enjoy thinking and being. Without self-judgment, religion cannot exist. And I want to say this. All of our need to make sure we don't say it this way because that's religious, or we don't go back that way and think too much because that's religious. All of those kinds of scenarios are self-judgments that are manifesting as supposedly wise decisions to not enter back into religion. All right. Can I just define what religion is? Okay. Let me just say this for those that I don't want you to see religion as just me bagging on Christianity or some other organized religion. The term religious or religion to me has, obviously can end up in organized religion. That could be one of the fruits of being religious. But religiosity has to do with me using anything internally or externally to mask who I am and to avoid who I am and to pretend I'm something that I'm not, whether it be through me being brainwashed into it or me being in a disassociative denial state in which I just simply choose to deny who I truly am. okay? Now, of course, if you have a dissociated identity disorder, I'd encourage you to set up a shift session. You can go to our website. Oh, I almost lost you there. And the sessions that we do are deal with emotional pain, lies that we believed about ourselves experientially that has changed our lens and therefore changed our view of ourself, okay? And when we have a wrong view of ourself, we're going to have a wrong view of everything around us, and we're going to do what? We're going to misinterpret life. We're going to misinterpret our whole life experience here. What I want you to get from what I'm sharing today is that I want you to consider being at peace with wherever you're at, whatever you know and whatever you don't know. Just don't conclude that that's the only way to know it. You can say in the 3D realm, science brings the evidence and the proof of life in certain arenas, at least the science we're at. Of course, science is way deeper and bigger than what we have. Okay, we're just on the tip of the iceberg, okay? And some people don't understand that a lot of the things that I post and share, I don't even believe in, okay? Even though they've once been my experience. What I will say is I will share where I was maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, because I'm sensing somebody in the collective needs to hear it. Now, and I might not even be in that place now. I can do that because I'm not biased against where I've journeyed. Now, I was. When I was biased, I don't want to hear in the name of Jesus. I don't want to hear spirit. Those are still wounds from the past. Now, in the beginning of it, it's great. We need to let go because we're familiar. We've been bound by a trap. We've been brainwashed. So we have to let go of these things. We have to go into another place. We have to learn new lingo. We have to reassess and readjust at the new place we're at. But once we are, let's gather the rest of the pieces of the puzzle. Those experiences were not wasted. And let's come back in to our right mind with receiving all aspects of our journey, not just parts of it. And that's really what it means to be disassociated here, is I see that when we are trying to claim spirituality, when we are claiming we're free from religion, we now have all these new rules of do's and don'ts that we've placed upon ourselves to safeguard us from becoming religious again. And here's the thing, if you've ever truly been freed from religion, you can never become religious again. End of story. All right. How do you know, Brian? Well, because I know the areas where I'm still religious, some of them I'm blind to, but I definitely know the areas where I'm not. And where I'm not religious, I no longer need to protect anything. I no longer need to prepare myself, seek out this, or run from seeking out because it's religious. All right. Seek your truth. Enjoy your questions and answers. Just do it from a place of being, not trying to be. Whenever you still need to try to be something, you will always need an information, and it will be coming from the insecure parts of your ego in a flight or fight mode. You won't even be aware of it. And if somebody tells you, hey, that's not the way, you'll dig in your heels and you'll tell them why you need to prove yourself and why they need to hear you, okay? And that right there should be a clue. But when you're blind to it, you can't see it. So you just got to walk it out until you do see it, okay? I mean, I know people online right now that, have ministries and, sorry, I dropped some here, have ministries and, are charging people an arm and a leg for them to show you how you can fulfill your dream. And their life ain't in order. They haven't fulfilled their dream. They're living a nightmare trying to believe for a dream and start a ministry. And they have their little thing on there, call me and I'll help you, and it's only $50 for the first hour or whatever. Well, they're trying to make some money, and they're probably in their heart sincere, trying to do the best they can. But the problem is we need some authenticity, don't we? We need authenticity, people. Authenticity basically means if I'm going through it, I'm going to share with you what I'm going through as I am overcoming or coming into my right mind in what I'm walking through. And I'll either give it to you on while I'm realizing it, on the way to realizing it, or where I've already walked through it, okay? But if I am pretending to be something online and hiding from you my struggles, then I'm robbing you, and I shouldn't be online. I should sit down and shut my mouth until I'm ready to be authentic, okay? Authenticity is going to be the key, okay? I'm going to be doing a video later on today in the with my subscribers on how to manifest what you want, and it's gonna have a definite twist to it that's different than anything you've heard out there. So for those that are subscribers, you're going to enjoy it. For those that are not, I encourage you, go and subscribe and check it out. It's going to be good today. So let go. Be aware of this. You can't, let me rephrase this. I can't even say let go, because it's impossible for you to let go, because I told you to let go. What is possible is for you to journey out being aware of how you're responding, how you're defending or shrinking back, or how you are reacting to life situations, to give you some clues of where you're at in being disassociated. I have a lot of mercy and compassion on those who are coming out of religion, and I understand what it means to be brainwashed. I understand what it means to be depersonalized, okay? To be brainwashed with an amnesia, to where you're unrecognizable in your own eyes, because you've been, constantly brainwashed over and over again with doctrines and dogma, and this is how it is, and don't ask questions, and don't have critical thinking, and these types of things. And so I do have a lot of compassion for those that are going through that. We do religious trauma healing for you, but I will give you a key here. All the things that I'm sharing with you are just part of us learning to know ourselves. Once we get past some of the mental gymnastics, we'll come to the place where we'll realize we weren't even messed up in the first place. It was all a lens in which we were programmed to believe we were messed up. And eventually we'll get to that. Now, I can tell you that really all the shadow work and all the stuff you got to do to get somewhere is pointless. And you're already there. And I can tell you, you've already arrived. You're already there. You're already complete. You already are the I am. Now, in the state of mind you're at, and some of you will say, I am. Now, I'm glad you said that. I really don't want to think about this, and this I've been going through. So then we disassociate and we claim the I am, right? And we walk along, but not long after, something happens, doesn't it? A situation arises, a relationship ends, trauma happens. And all of a sudden, none of that shit mattered, did it? All that we claimed, all that great revelation, we're sinking right back in the mire, and we're going, well, I thought I was healed. I thought I was free. I thought Brian was telling me the truth. All right. You can't claim what another is telling you. You have to experience it, and you have to know it through the fire, that when all what we would call all hell breaking loose happens around us, it reveals to us where we are at in feeding ourselves our own line of bullshit, self-manipulation, or are we truly being authentic? You learn authenticity through opposition. You get to see. Now, you'll see your reaction, which isn't the true you. It is the ego. It is the parts of you that are still programmed to believe you're one thing. don't judge that reaction as who you are. What you want to get to the point is when there is no reaction, and it really doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what you don't know. You're just happy to be you and to embrace life. Guess what? You've arrived at the sweet spot. Now, the problem is, if that is the only arrival in this life, and that is as far as you go, there's no more reason to be here. It's time to kick the bucket. Okay. But if you're still here and you're just happy to not know anything, you're in a season in which you have arrived at a specific place in your perspective of self, but you have not arrived. There is no arrival. You've just come out of the brainwashing and are starting to live as a real human. See, humanity has been defined as this less than slithering snake in the dirt, sinner worm, wretched, heart is wicked, who can know it but the Lord, all of this crap. All right. And that's not what a human is. To the Christians, a normal human would look like Jesus. Okay. That's for the Christians out there. But a normal human looks like you. Nothing wrong with you. You don't need to be fixed. You were just taught you were broken. All right. So we use all of these methodologies, inner healing and self-talk and positive confession and meditation. We use all of this to journey out the response of who we've always been coming in. So we're not getting free from anything. We're simply using the placebo effect to realize there was nothing ever wrong with us. Now, can we skip that? I wish we could. But unfortunately, your mind and my mind won't allow us to skip this process, because the ego needs to search out all things to know its security. So let it, because there's nothing wrong with your ego. Your ego doesn't need to be killed. Your ego is your personality, but in that personality, it was fed a whole bunch of lies that it believed about itself, and now thinks it has to protect itself, and now thinks it has to know this and that in order to survive, okay? So that's just the way it is. So walk it out. Just walk it out from an understanding that, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. This is all just part of me meeting me. This is what I signed up for. This is what I agreed to. And don't get stuck on just one side of the truth or revelation. We are in a simulation. I totally believe that. There is no proof of anything existing outside of your mind, because the only thing we can bear witness to is what each of us is experiencing, that's coming through the mind that we think is a world outside of us. All right. But there is nothing outside of us. You don't need to strive to change anything outside of you. What you need to do is learn how to rest in who you are on the inside of you. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to hear yourself. Listen to yourself. All the people around you are you. And those that don't agree with you, you don't need to argue with. That's arguing with yourself. Instead, go, oh, there's a part of me that doesn't believe the part of me that believes where I'm at. Okay, my higher self is maybe the part of me that's living in the bliss of the now, of the embrace of love, and I don't need to know anything, and it doesn't matter. Okay, now there's also an ego that likes to live there too. Okay, especially one that doesn't like confrontation and doesn't like change, that's stuck in the familiar. So realize that when situations arise, those situations are the parts of your mind, the higher self saying, yeah, there's the Brian's ego mind is still trying to manipulate him into believing he's all this and that, and he's disassociating, he's hiding from a part of himself. So let's send a reflection of his real mindset in that area that he's hiding from, and we'll project it as a circumstance opposing him, so we can surface that and transmute that belief system and do away with that lens. You see, I have a lot of them. We all have a lot of them. Who cares? What matters is you've got the gist of where you're settled, where you're seated, that you're gonna realize you're in a simulation. Okay, everybody is you. And as everybody is you, you're going to have parts of you that don't agree with you because they're still disconnected. They're still in the lie of separation. They're still protecting themselves. So now what do? You come to those people with the language that you need for them. So you'll see me on Facebook and I'll hear the collective, which is also a part of me that's yet to be reconciled in the form of people groups. And I'll start speaking language of spirit rather than frequency. You know, and some people come on and say, brother, I thought you didn't believe in that anymore. I thought God was a frequency. I thought blah, 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 blah. Or I don't believe in that no more. I don't agree with that, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's just the part of my mind that isn't seeing what's going on yet. So I'm speaking right now to the other parts of me in the form of you. Relax. It's okay. You can call it spirit. You can call it frequency. There's nothing to protect. There's nothing to defend. There's nothing you need to do to prove yourself. Simply enjoy your life. Enjoy who you are. And if you feel inspired to pursue a truth, pursue a truth. Just realize that that truth is not the absolute truth. It is just a truth that's going to reflect another expression for you to enjoy the moment and for you to move on to the next thing. And so you might even toss out the previous truth when the new truth comes, but you don't have to toss it out with disdain, as though you've been tricked, as though somebody's out to get you, as though you've been brainwashed. You could say, oh, this no longer serves me. This was for the last version of Brian. The next version of Brian is into this. Now, all those people out there might say, can this guy make up his freaking mind? Can God make up his or her mind? You know, why is it that, you know, man, 1 minute he's saying it's all about faith. The next minute, faith is really doubt. It's really about knowing. Next thing you know, he's already graduated from knowing and now he's living by faith. Which is it? All right. You got to be there to know it. You got to experience it to understand it. Okay. Live your life. Live in the now. Live in the peace. All right. Don't freak out. It's all going to be okay. For those of you that are feeling alone, disconnected out there, you're not even sure what to believe or who you are, quit striving on believing anything. Just be you. Just listen, just close your eyes and listen to your heartbeat and realize that you are alive, that you have the potential of experiencing everything you desire, and that you're here to experience love and life. All right. Yeah, you're going to have all these other experiences that you might think are interrupting love and life. No, they're setting it up for you to know love and life. There is no bad experience. There's only experience. Okay. So if you let go of good experiences and bad experiences, all you have is experiences. And all those experiences are worth having. Okay. Because you are worth being. So I want to leave you with that today. You are worth everything. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You were just programmed to believe you were broken. Now, do you need to do shadow work? Sure you do. Because you now need to speak to the parts of you that have believed a lie and start having that dialogue again. So there's no separation. And it'll be tested because people will come along and will act just like those mindsets if you disassociated and suppressed and ignored and denied what was really going on. You know, then they'll come in the form of people and circumstances and knock at your door and say, hey, I'm the other version of you that you didn't want to face and be honest with. I'm here to teach you authenticity. All right. So to be your authentic self is real simple. It means face yourself, face everybody else as yourself. And you might not do it right from the get-go. I don't do it. Sometimes I'm like, man, I want to tell this person, shut the hell up. Who do you think you are? And I'm realizing, oh, why do I want to judge myself again? What self-judgments am I holding on to? Remember what I read on the end of that post. What did I say? I said, all our safeguards are religion. And remember what religion is. It's me needing to put on a facade to pretend I'm something I'm not, or to hide from and use anything to hide from who I truly am. all our concerns, when we're all concerned about this and that, are flight or fight mode. Enjoy thinking, enjoy being. Without self-judgment, religion cannot exist. That's how you know you're free, because anything can happen and you're still you, and you don't need to be something else than what you are. You no longer judge who you are based on the situation you're in or how people react or respond. Okay, that's right, Serena. I'm going to put that up there. Religion is control. That is so true. It is. It's all about control. And here's the thing. Control is an illusion. There's no such thing as control. Nobody is in control and nobody can control you. Okay? Self-control, I like there are some scriptures I like in Galatians. The fruit of self-control is me being able to relax, no longer needing to be in control, but also knowing that who I truly am has already controlled everything in the script that has been foreordained and written. The movie that we wrote, everything we agreed upon before we manifested the human experience. All right. It's really good stuff. You know, we decided what we would walk through. We chose the life. We chose the parents. We chose the situations we would walk through. And of course, we had reasons that were deeper than what we can even comprehend right now. Really important reasons. I mean, things that if you were to know completely in this life, your whole spirit would scream out in an ecstasy of, oh my, that's who I am. You are actually so much deeper than you can know right now, so much deeper than you think, so much more beautiful than you can conceive. Our humanity is a beautiful thing. Our existence is magnificent. Our ability to become conscious of self is a mystery. It is the most wonderful gift we can have. Divinity loves being human. God loves enjoying being mankind. But mankind is not the ultimate state of who we are. It's just a part of who we are, okay? But let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it to the full. And I sure enjoy being with you guys. Please like and share. And if you haven't become a member yet or a subscriber, come on down. I'm going to be putting out some little sneak previews of the last video we did with Serena Powell, who's on here as Serena Alicia. If you haven't added her to your Facebook, please do so. Sending you some people, Serena. And she's amazing, by the way, when it comes to branding and graphics and that type of thing. So I'm going to brag on her a little bit. Check out our updated logo. And there's more to come on that. And so we're really excited. But Serena was one of our guests. And so was Carrie Husband on our last video that we did on, what was it called? Something about Mankind's Awakening. And we went into detail. And boy, Carrie Husband, she just took off on the Hebrew and the Aramaic when it comes to the Matrix and a lot of that. And it was deep. It was good. So don't forget to subscribe. And I can't wait to see you guys soon. By the way, a little quick announcement. We haven't got it fully solidified yet, but I would like to hear from people who would like to come out if we do a conference. We are wanting to do a conference sometime in April in Pueblo, Colorado, at an Airbnb that'll sleep. It says 16. I think we could fit 20 in there with air beds. Of course, the last 4 would get a little bit more discounted rate. They wouldn't be in a room. But it would basically be, you would just pay, I don't know what, we'd have to figure that out, but it would be some sort of, probably 150 or 200 each, which would cover your food, the conference, and, the house, all of that. And we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We would have, hopefully, Carrie Husband will be out here. We want to get a few other awesome, amazing revelators. And we would be doing meditation, fellowship, revelation, as well as some 5D sessions. that those of you that know what those are, you know what I'm talking about. And we would have an amazing weekend. So for those of you that might be interested in that, we're thinking about doing that this April. So let's see how many people say I'm in. And so if that's you and you want to come to Pueblo, Colorado for a weekend gathering and have some amazing experiences with the collective, just comments, I'm in. And that'll kind of give me a little heads up of when to set this and where. But I look forward to those that can make it. And we appreciate you and we love you guys. And we'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.